Hello, my name is Marco Alverà. I'm the CEO of Snam. I've been asked to provide some takeaways on COVID. And talking to people, I've realized that we are roughly split down the middle. Some think that nothing will be the same after COVID, and others think that after COVID we'll go back to business as usual. I think that the trends, some key trends that were visible before COVID, have been dramatically accelerated by this pandemic. And here are some of my thoughts on some of those trends. I've highlighted 7 of those. First is that we have broken inertia. When there's a crisis, there's also an opportunity. And when you break the habits, you can think more clearly with a greater sense of purpose and more boldly to reinvent yourselves. And a lot of people are doing this at the individual level. Companies are doing this, and governments are being very ambitious on the reinvention of some aspects of their society. The second takeaway is that unfortunately, unfairness and polarization and inequality, which were a defining feature and a worsening feature in our societies, are getting worse and going to get worse because of COVID. And we need to make sure that we help and support the people more in need, because their reaction to COVID will determine many economies and many societies, the politics of the future. And as we've seen greater inequality and greater unfairness, we've also seen some very brave and some very heroic behavior from some people. And so that's really where we should start, and that's the energy that we should start to rebuild. Third takeaway is that this has pushed us much further down the technology adoption curve. I see it on myself, with friends and colleagues in the company, at home. A lot more will happen online, from not only shopping to banking to healthcare to schooling. There will be a much greater adoption of online, and as we get out of COVID, this will accelerate exponentially. Fourth, this disruption gives us a chance to double down on the energy transition and on some key aspects of the infrastructure. Trillions of dollars have been earmarked. If that money is invested wisely in infrastructure, it will generate economic growth, and it will leave countries with more modern infrastructure. If the money is squandered, it will lead to taxes and to economic stagnation. The fifth takeaway is that the workplace will change. I expect much fewer business meetings and live meetings, and a much greater use of technology, of new softwares, of new apps, and of smart working, which allows people to be more productive than at the office and have a greater life and work balance. And I think this will be a greater feature going forward. My sixth takeaway is that the role of ESG, environment, social, and governments, will continue to increase. We'd seen this before COVID, but COVID has accelerated the social role that companies can play. Companies like ours that have invested millions of euros to buy ventilators and key equipment for hospitals and masks and protection gear. I think we have seen how much we can do to help society, and society has seen how much companies can do, and I think the role of ESG will increase. And the final point is that preparation is key. When you're prepared, you can move to action much faster, and the countries that were better prepared have suffered a lot less. The companies that were better prepared have suffered a lot less. And so as we look at some of the future challenges we have post-COVID, the biggest one being climate change, I think the lesson learned should be to over-prepare and get ready to move fast. Thank you.